Welcome back to Project 94 for another Diecast review here on the channel, and today we're going to have another throwback diecast. This one right here is going to be Kevin Harvick and his 2023 Sunny Delight Darlington Throwback, number 4 for Stewart Haas Racing. And you're probably looking at this and you're like, what is this a throwback of? I don't remember seeing a Sunny Delight old car with that kind of paint scheme. Well, let me explain. Kevin Harvick was actually supposed to run a few part-time cup races in 2001 while running in the Busch Series. However, because sadly the tragedy of Dale Earnhardt Sr. at the Daytona 500, because of that, he was not able to run this car. And you're probably wondering, well, what was that car supposed to be? This car is actually based off of the AOL, I believe, number 30 car. He's supposed to run a couple Cup Series starts in that to get his feet wet in the Cup Series and get some experience. However, after Dale Sr.'s tragic passing, that of course fell to the wayside. So Stewart Haas Racing and Sunny D decided to run a paint scheme that's kind of like that car, but it's more focused on the colors of Sunny Delight instead. But the template and everything is the same. It's just different sponsor and different colors. And usually I'm not the biggest fan of when they do stuff like this. I'd rather them take the colors of the actual car. Because now I'm looking at this, and I kind of remember this thing being like a blue, white, and yellow, like Napa looking color scheme to it. But it's so different now with the different sponsor and the different colors. So it's not really an accurate throwback. Hell, this car didn't even run at all. So this is like a throwback to a car that was initially canceled after the tragic passing of Dale Earnhardt Sr. Which is, that was a big tragedy. Very unfortunate for NASCAR. And he was not able to run those part-time cup races. Instead, he went full-time in the 29, which was on top of the 3 teams car. But nonetheless, Sunny Delight has also joined the party with throwback branding using the original Sunny Delight instead of Sunny D. They actually put the full name of the original company name on there. The colors are definitely bright. You're definitely not going to miss this on the racetrack. It's super bright. And in any diecast series, this car is going to stand out. And I do like that. This is, what I like about this is that this is going to be my first Harvick Sunny Delight or Sunny D diecast in my collection. I did not get the PTC or Jat mold version because I don't collect those. So this one right here is going to be a first in my collection, a Sunny D car for Harvick instead of, maybe Stenhouse or Chris Buescher. So that's going to be pretty interesting. So let's get this diecast out of the box. Whoops, I did not pause the camera on this, but oh yes! Yes! There's no base on this. I don't know why I was expecting a base. Maybe because I was so used to getting the Harvick cars that had the Busch logos on it. And I was, for some reason, expecting a base on this. But because this is just a kid's drink, it's not going to have that. So, yeah, you don't have to worry about removing a base from this. But yeah, here's the diecast, brand new, out of the box. And I gotta say, you know what? It's not an accurate throwback, but do I like the paint scheme of it? Yes. In fact, I really do like the paint scheme of this. This is a very good-looking race car. And despite the fact that it's not really a throwback, I do like the paint scheme itself. The bright orange looks good, the yellow looks fantastic, and the green on it really, really does stand out on this as well, along with the white. We'll get a look at we'll take an in-depth look at this paint scheme after we take a look at all this car's sponsors. And thankfully, unlike the Joey Logano review, you actually have the headlights on there not missing. So that's how streaky and inconsistent Lionel's quality control is at times. You got number 4 right there, Stewart Haas Racing. Got the Ford Mustang front end of this thing. Of course, you got the Ford little blue oval. You have Sunny Delight on the hood. Of course, the logo gets absolutely demolished by those hood vents. I mean, look at that. I will say this time and time again, and I've said it time and time again, I am not a fan of hood vents on stock cars. But I get it, they have to put it on there. Of course, Sunny Delight. You got Ford, Harvick. You have number 4 in green. Of course, Sunoco, Goodyear, and black on the fenders. But of course, got the white Goodyears with dark gray rims instead of the silver. And what's funny about some of the throwback diecast is that the Joey Logano throwback had an accurate, legitimately, like, accurate style throwback wheel. Like, or the logos on the wheel of Goodyear looked a bit more accurate to the real car. This just looks like a white printing of the yellow version, if you know what I'm saying. Like, the other Logano car had the more proper font. I forgot to point that out in that video. Anyways, you have 75th anniversary logo for NASCAR. NASCAR salutes. Number 4 got Sunny Delight. Kevin Harvick got Forever with the white and green version of that logo. You have Ford, Mobile One, Haas, Hunt Brothers, Pizza, and Rush Truck Centers. Sunny D, Sunny Delight. Gear Wrench in black and white. Just a mostly black logo with one light white letter or word, Gear. Of course, you have Hunt Brothers, normal colors. And I'm pointing out the colors of logos because sometimes on throwbacks that could change. It's subject to change, but most of it still kind of looks the same except, you know, maybe the Pristine Auctions logo and the Gear Wrench logo. And of course, the actual Sunny D logo. So you literally have Sunny D on here twice. A lot of empty area on this hip right here. There's just no sponsors there. I do not believe they put Bush there. So this is just like an orange, bright orange hips, I guess. And oh no. Looks like we got ourselves a gray paint chip on the spoiler. Bam! Holy cow. And I know these spoilers chip super easily, but this is bad. Holy cow, dude. That's unfortunate. Easily fix that with a Sharpie, but come on, we're paying $11 for these things. Of course, you have Sunny Delight. Not the purple stuff. That's pretty cool to see on the back. Not the purple stuff. Nice little slogan back there. Wonder if that actually was their official slogan back then. Of course, got GT. Of course, this is the Mustang with an identity crisis. It's got the back of a GT and the front of a Shelby. Thankfully, that's getting fixed next year with the Dark Horse Mustang. You got the Mobile One logo. Got Ford. The license plate with the 2023 little sticker on there. Of course, you got number 4 in green. Sunny Delight, and you got a wonderful, lovely paint chip on the end right there in Sunny D. Harvick. And I guess a Bush logo would have went right here, but they can't put it on the car. And of course, a green number 4. Time for the paint scheme itself. It starts out with a base coat of a really, really bright orange. Even in real life, it looks bright. So, yeah, I really like that a lot. The orange is definitely more on the bright side. It's almost like the Fast and Furious Supra type orange on this thing, except it's a tad brighter. Well, I like the color choices so far. The yellow looks pretty good. Of course, all the yellow is going to be decaled, obviously. But we're going to look at the numbers, of course. Got a green number 4. We got a dark green outline, a white outline, and a brighter green number fill-in. And, of course, going to see the same type of number 4 on the side as well, and on the back, and on the front. And it's almost like a 4-leaf, like, clover type greens. Like, you have, like, that type of, like, shamrock green sort of type of, you know, vibes going on with it. I think that's pretty cool. Like, St. Patrick's Day style number 4. That's kind of what I'm thinking of when I see this number up here. Now for the rest of the paint scheme. Got a black spoiler, black roof rails, and of course black splitter in the front. And now it's time for the paint scheme, the primary part of this review. Black spoiler, black roof rails, black splitter, and then of course starting in the front, you could tell this was made for the old Monte Carlo, just the way the curves of the decals are. But they fit it onto the Mustang pretty nicely. So basically, the type of stripes that are on here it's going to have a yellow fill-in, a green outline, and a white outline to it. As you can see, that's the way the stripe looks. Got white and the green, the thick yellow, the thin green, and then the thicker white outline. But it has like a nice curve to it. So you can see like it goes from underneath the windshield. It kind of nicely flows over the front shoulder line of the hood. and then it kind of flows through here and kind of curves off right here to let some of the orange flow right there. Then it swoops nice and cleanly over the Ford OEM details and flows into the grille, and all this is yellow behind it, which looks super good. I like the way that looks. Unfortunately, the Ford Mustang, because there's so much black on the nose, of course, the plasticky bits of the real Ford Mustang, if this was yellow right here, you would be able to tell that this was all going to be a yellow front end to this thing. And of course, the orange fills in this this gap, and of course, the Sunny D logo goes right on top, so it looks full and complete. Now you're looking at the side, and it has a similar design. Of course, you're going to have the curved swoop, and the way it works is going to flow from the quarter panel over the rear quarter windows. It's going to slash through there, the C-pillar, and then it's going to go through or underneath the driver's side windshield, and on both sides of the windshield. So on the side windshield, you're going to see the yellow, or that same type of stripe that was already on the hood. You're going to have the white, green, and of course the yellow, and of course the really thin green with the thicker sort of white stripes. It's not as thick as it is on the hood, or like that thick. It's really a little bit thinner, the outline of the white. And it's going to nicely swoop. Has a weird shape to it. Of course, it goes from like being kind of skinny, and it kind of like thickens up as it gets to the bottom of the 4. So it swoops nice and cleanly across the side like that. And it's going to go through the quarter panel, and that same stripe pattern is going to wrap onto the back bumper right there. And of course, all behind it is that beautifully bright orange. And of course, the whole top of it is going to be yellow. Of course, all these colors have been altered from the original, so it can match the actual Sunny Delight colors. And that's pretty much the paint scheme. I gotta say, this is a good-looking car. Even if you're not a Harvick fan, this is a cool paint scheme right here. I really like it. For it not being an accurate throwback, it's something that I kind of don't really mind as much for this particular sponsor, because, Sunny Delight had to sponsor this race weekend. Now, who knows? Maybe if a different sponsor did this throwback, they would have matched up the colors, but we'll never know. So here's the front of the car. Here's the hood. I know Napa would have done an excellent job recreating the AOL car if they did it for Chase Elliott, but of course, why would Chase Elliott be doing an RCR throwback? And here's the right side of this thing. Of course, looking nice and bright. Here's the back. Here's the deck lid. Here's the roof and the upper profile of this car. Here's the left side and the underbody. And honestly, this thing, ooh, wow, it even has the Forever printing. How cool is that? Tells you what chassis. So if you ever make a custom on a Harvick car, that Forever will tell you that this was a Harvick diecast. Gotta be honest, this is a very, very cool paint scheme, guys. Even though it's not an accurate throwback, I still like it. This diecast is gonna look good in people's collections. I really feel like it. Definitely one of the brighter cars you'll ever see. So, thank you all for checking out this diecast review. What do you guys think before I could get into the outro? What do you guys think of this diecast? Comment, like, and subscribe. Thank you all for checking out this diecast review. And always remember to make sure you know what you're doing when you're putting decals on your diecasts.